Hi, this is Norman Kochhanek for Extra Time, reporting from Australia regarding the continuing story about a man who has become legendary beyond anyone's imagination, Shane Warne. He obviously, the Spin King himself, has arrived back in an emotional homecoming in a private jet into Essendon Airport in Melbourne, greeted by his ex-wife, his family and friends, and his personal assistant, and a number of other people as well. In fact, there was a flock of fans out the front of the actual Essendon Airport there, welcoming him as he came in at 8:30 p.m. last night. In the Australian newspapers, of course, we have a number of articles here from the Australian, which is a well-known newspaper here in Australia, and they have an article there specifically on Shane Warne, and they talk in terms of the Spin King arrives to an emotional homecoming. They talk on about how his coffin was loaded into a vehicle, draped in the Australian flag. Amazing intensity of information regarding the whole process of bringing him back from Bangkok in Thailand to Australia. Quite incredible indeed. A lot of the articles did centre again on friends' anguish as Warne goes home. The anguish of him arriving home, the daunting sight of the plane, the coffin, the whole scenario was quite incredible indeed. And the coverage is quite thick about, and a lot of discussion about, obviously, some of his colleagues and like Michael Clark, but in particular Dave Warner has come out and talked about Warne's body flown home as cricketers plan for memorial, which is on March 30th, of course, at the MCG. And even some vision there of Michael Parkinson interviewing Shane Warne, and even his Parky's anguish, as they say, at losing a dear friend. It doesn't just stop there. You know, many of the dear friends are slowly but surely coming out of the press, and it's becoming a real deep and meaningful story. Here we are also having a section here on Warner pays tribute to Warne, so as he returned for the memorial. Without any doubt, you see them there. They're very close. A big confidant and mentor for an actual childhood hero for the now current opening batsman for Australia, Dave Warner. There are other articles as well. One with, of course, Kerry Packer's, the founder of World Series Cricket, his son James Packer. And that article is particularly interesting because it actually discusses the shattered Packer, silent after Warne's death. And you see that here in quite a sizable article here of the shattered Packer, I should say, after Shane Warne's death. In fact, he'd been rather silent as well, but they do discuss the closeness they had, their lasting friendship since about 2010, or more earlier than that, but the father was selfish from 2010. It's a strange situation, a strange world, how we deal with the death of public figures these days, especially in sport. The rush to post something on social media helps us, the pain, get away, but it doesn't take away from the grief of those privately that are mourning there and not necessarily wishing to be seen on social media. This is an amazing array of stories in the Australian newspapers, from the Sydney Morning Herald to the Australian to the Melbourne Age, you name it. Shane Warne is on the front and back covers as well as editorials right throughout. This is Norman Kochhanek for Extra Time. Stay tuned.